Merhaba. Hi everyone. We're waiting for the followers to come to start. Thank you for coming. Today we will have a lovely talk. And it will be amazing to have the latest news from USA. Evet, bugün Amerika'ya bağlanacağız, New York'a bağlanacağız ve harika bir konuşma ve sohbet yapacağız. Çok güzel bir söyleşi olacağına eminim çünkü çok sevdiğim bir dostum, arkadaşım New York'tan ve gerçekten kendisi aynı zamanda destinasyon düğünleri kraliçesi olarak anılıyor ülkesinde. So today we will have a very special guest from New York, JoAnn Gregoli. She's the queen of destination weddings. She's a very dear friend of mine as well. She's the founder of Elegant Occasions. She's a speaker and we have met in many conferences. We have become very dear friends with JoAnn, and I think JoAnn, please connect me. Please connect me. You should send me a request. Evet, JoAnn'in bana request yollamasını bekliyorum. Bakayım. Yes, JoAnn, you should send me a request. Evet, JoAnn herhalde New York'tan bağlanacak birazdan bize. Hatta kalmaya devam edin. Selam Aybüke, selam Volkan. Hi everyone. But I'm still waiting New York. Yes. Let's see. Oh, yes. She did send me the request. The Queen of Destination Weddings from New York, JoAnn Gregoli, will be connecting us, my dear. How are you?
Good. How are you? Good to see you.
Thank you. Been so long. I miss you so much.
I know, right? It's been such a long time.
Yeah, the world has changed.
Oh my gosh, the world has gone mad. The world has gone mad.
Yeah. But I think everything will be fine soon again. It's just the time. It's the time to rest for us to think.
No, true. That's very true.
Yeah, to reorganize everything. But I'm missing my friends like you. You know, we have so many memories in conferences. We have been talking about the future projects together. I hope we'll do them again.
For sure. Everything has been put on hold. Everything is paused right now. So it'll come back. It'll come back.
So, how are you? I mean, how is the final situation in New York, in USA? How is the government dealing with the pandemic?
Okay. A lot of questions, a lot of loaded questions. New York, we have it under control. I mean, we were the first people obviously in the pandemic to really get it hit pretty bad. But we shut down immediately. So our area for 3 months literally has been shut down. We had no work. We couldn't travel. We couldn't go out to eat. We were really just in quarantine for 3 months. We just came out of quarantine and we're slowly opening up. But the other parts of the country who did not go into quarantine are now seeing COVID increase pretty substantially. So with the New York City and the metropolitan area, we're good, but now the rest of our country is now spiking, only because our government did not handle it correctly. We, our fearless idiot leader, just didn't do it where he shut down the whole country. So what he did was he left it to each area to control individually, which created a problem. So if you don't shut down immediately like all the other countries did in a very wise way, you shut it down at one time, you would mitigate it. He didn't do that. He just said, okay, New York, you deal with it. California, you deal with it. And then ultimately what happened was everybody that wasn't handling it correctly at the one given time, it surged. So now we have parts of the country that they won't even allow to come to the New York area. So weddings are kind of all over the place, sadly. Meaning you have weddings that are taking place simultaneously in all parts of our country, but all different rules. So there's no general rule that's occurring in the United States of America. We don't have a general rule. So you have in the New York area, you can host 50 people. If you go down south, you can host 150 people. If you go to Texas, you can host 200 people. So because there's no uniformity occurring, you're seeing this spike all over the place because it's just, you can't control it. You can't control it.
Oh. I will sometimes translate it to Turkish, if you don't mind, because
no, go ahead.
Some of the followers are Turkish and cannot understand fluently English. So just in few minutes, I will just tell them in Turkish. Amerika'daki son durumu sordum. Maalesef her eyaletten eyalete değişen bir kurallar zinciri ve maalesef bizim bu salak liderimiz dedi güzel yönetemedi bu olayı. Bir seferde bütün ülkelerin yaptığı gibi her yeri kapatacaktı. İşi kontrol altına alacaktı. Dolayısıyla Kaliforniya'da başka türlü bir düğün yapıyorsun. New York'ta başka bir düğün yapıyorsun. Yani her yerdeki kurallar farklı olarak söyledi. So, did the events start by July, JoAnn?
We can open up slowly, but not indoors. We can do nothing indoors. There's no indoor events anywhere. It can't happen because COVID is too strong. So you can only host events outside. Yeah. So tented weddings are what will be allowed, but you can't do anything internally at all. It's not allowed. Because they're just afraid that the air conditioning and the proximity of people being close together will spread the germs much more quickly. We had a very high death rate here, and we still do. New York, I think we lost over 20,000 people in 3 months. I personally, my own family, I lost 8 people in my own family.
Really? Unbelievable.
So it's very real to me. You know, it's very personal and very real, and I take it quite seriously.
Oh, you're right. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I'm so sorry. And your family. Oh, yeah. Also, it's the same situation in Turkey. Let me give you some idea. Actually, we did not shut down all, but they had a clever politics about this. They shut down over 65 years old people and below 18 years old people. So, you know, in between the people went to their works, they worked. And it seems to be under control, actually. The cases are not very high anymore. But still there is pandemic, you know, it is not over. And not in my family, but around my friends and my neighbors, I also had many people who were sick and who died. This is really something serious, and nobody knows when it's going to end.
The only way it's going to end is if they come up with some kind of vaccine. Sadly, a lot of these governments treated it as if it was political. And when people are dying, that's not political anymore. Yes. You know, it's not political. I mean, our own president wouldn't wear a mask. He refuses to wear a mask. And what kind of example does that set? I've gotten into more arguments in stores with people who just refuse to cover up. And it's like, how hard is that? So it's really the fact that you have two different stories going on in the United States. You have a group of people that are very serious about it. And then you have another group of people who think it's a hoax. They don't believe it. They don't believe it. They truly don't believe it. That's what's so weird to me. They don't understand what's going on.
So sorry for that. I hope they will come as soon as possible. By the way, Bob Conti, our mutual friend, is here. Hi, Bob.
We love us a Bob Conti. We love us a Bob Conti.
Yeah, Yeah, I miss those conferences. We had so much fun together, and I miss all of you, really. I miss all of
Well,
you.
the wedding industry is sadly, we're personal people. We love people. We
Yeah,
love each other.
yeah,
And not to be able to see the people we love so much is most heart-wrenching and heartbreaking. I think that's the problem with us in the industry is that we're a very communicative industry. We're a very loving industry. We are hands-on, people to people. And when you remove that people to people, which is what this has done, I was telling someone the other day, we planners, this is the first time ever, we don't have a plan. We don't have a plan because we don't know what the future is going to hold, right? We don't know when it's going to get back. We know it's going to come back. That we know, right? We know. Right now we're on a brief pause. It's just a matter of what's it going to look like when it comes back, right? What are weddings going to look like? I don't think right now they're going to be as big or as large because they can't, right? You can't put too many people in a room together for the safety of the people. So I think they're going to just be more smaller, intimate weddings for the foreseeable future, which is workable, but I think they're going to be smaller. I focus right now, ironically, on small weddings, but I've also focused a lot on virtual events. I've been doing a lot of virtual.
started virtual
Um,
events. How do you do virtual events? Can
well,
you?
virtual events, what we've been doing is we collectively get together the groups of people. We send out little care packages like boxes of food to individual people, and then they all celebrate together on a Zoom call. And
Oh,
we have entertainment on the Zoom call. So we just make the interaction a little more personal. And you don't want to, like, this is what's so great about this platform, Instagram. You're seeing people, you're connecting with people like you do on the Zoom platform.
yeah.
So I think with weddings and down the road as far as corporate events, I think for now, just until there's a vaccine, I think you're going to have to connect in a different virtual way. Like before I got in the call with you, I was connecting with my children virtually. I can't see my children. I have a daughter who's pregnant. I can't see her. I haven't seen her the whole pregnancy. I have grandbabies. I can't see them. So I'm connecting to them virtually and keeping connected. And I think this platform is what's going to keep us sane, and gives us hope. We need hope. Like we need to know collectively as a group that we're going to survive this, right? A
Um,
lot of us have been in business a very, very long time. I've been around 30 years. So I've never seen this before.
yeah.
But I truly believe that we will overcome it. We will get through it. But we have to stick together as a team, like as a group. I think we have to keep connected and talking and keep words out there that weddings aren't canceled. Remember that. Love is not canceled. It's postponed.
Yes, this is my only hope, as far as love exists, because people want to show their love. They want to be appreciated by their love. They want to
Exactly.
be approved by their wedding. So as long as
Correct.
love will survive, the weddings will survive. But that's so true that what you say, we don't know when they will come back again because the wedding should be live. It can't be virtual.
It can't be virtual.
It can't be
But the thing is this, because of the disease, we can't virtually get together, right? So destination weddings are a perfect case in point. Europe is reopening to everybody but the US. We cannot travel to you all because we've been shut out because of our lack of control here in the United States, right? So I was only doing destination weddings. That was my thing. I wrote the book. I mean, I've traveled my whole life. To me, it is heart wrenching that I can't get on an airplane. I can't travel. I can't go to the countries.
Yeah. We are
It's,
like,
it is,
in a prison.
we feel like we're in a prison. We do. I said to someone the other day, I said, I feel like going to the airport just to visit the TSA agents and saying hi. I'm like, can I just go to the airport and wave and say hello?
No, airplanes were my home, they were my
They
office,
were
my home. I was just jumping from one airplane to the other.
to the other.
Yeah,
Exactly. And not
unbelievable.
to be not to be in an airplane in an airport, to me, this length of time is insane. I said to somebody, because I'm doing this other thing where we're making masks. I've pivoted my career a little bit, and I know my postal worker now better than I know, my TSA agent, but I miss my TSA agents. I miss the airport. I miss that thrill. That's what has to come back. And unless the U.S. gets their act together, which we are so bad at it, I don't know when we will be able to come back and visit people. I don't know. And to me, it's beyond frustrating. You want to throw your hands up. You want to cry. You really want to cry, because it's taking away your whole livelihood, your existence in life, but everybody feels it. Like, we're all in the same boat. Every one of us is together. Every single one of us feels the pain. Only we understand each other, this group of people, because
because I think the most affected industry is our industry. The most.
Yeah. We are.
Airplanes can't fly. Hotels now, they started to open in Turkey. Everybody, the shops are open, the restaurants are open. Okay, there are few people around, but they are open. We are not open yet.
No.
We are the most affected industry because of this pandemic.
But no one's talking about it. Like, there's not one leader has addressed this industry. They've addressed every industry but ours. We seem to be the stepchild of the industries.
Why?
And if you think about I don't know why. I don't think our voices are loud enough. Now, I'm trying really hard all the time to pitch and talk and get my voice out there. Like, hey, wait, what about us? What about us? We're here.
You have a lot of, worldwide known wedding planners in your industry.
Yes.
And Preston Bailey and Colin Covey, Bob Conti. You can all
Bob Conti, Ed Libby. There's so many people.
There are so many people. You can come.
I think but you know what we could do if we collectively came together and maybe did a petition. I'm thinking of doing a petition. I'm involved in so much right now. It's crazy. My life is like insane because I'm doing all this other stuff I'm doing. If we do a petition, maybe we can get it to the Senate or get it to our leaders and get it to the people to say, can you address our situation? Can you help us out? We really want to make our voices known that this industry is so impacted. You have to remember this. It's not just us wedding planners. How many different individuals does it take to create a wedding? No less than 10 vendors.
Yes.
That's 10 companies involved.
Many vendors. They are, jobless.
It's not just us. It's hair, makeup, photography, videography, music, entertainment, cake. It's all of us collectively. So if we... Nobody talks about us. Nobody. And I think we just need to have a larger sounding voice worldwide. Worldwide. Because it's not even addressed anywhere.
We have to do something about this, because we are friends. Nadia Drum from Australia, Bamnesh from
all of us.
From India, and everybody should
Arun from Dubai.
Zainab from Dubai, you from America, Sarah from London.
From Malta. So there has to be a universal voice. There has to be a universal voice if we collectively came together as a group and said, we're going to make the change here. Like, we need to address us. You need to address our situation. We're not being addressed.
There is also Shebnem here. I don't know if you know her. She's our industry leader as well. We can make a Zoom meeting all together, like in our conferences, and we can discuss this issue. How can we cry out? How can we shout? I
mean, what do we have to take it to the United Nations? Seriously, is that the level we have to take it to? Take it to the UN and say, hey, listen. We're a united front. We are universal. Events are worldwide. Events aren't just American. They're not just Turkey. They're not just India. They're everywhere. If we make our voices known collectively and get to the UN and say, hey, listen, this is what's happening here. You're going to collapse this industry. And don't forget, these politicians all host events. Politicians host events, right?
Yes,
I
yes.
think we need to do that. You know, I think we need to do something worldwide as as a cause and get it out there. I think that's the only way we're going to survive that. What is our message? Our
I
message would be, you know, save the events
help.
industry. Yeah, Bob, what's our message? I'd say
No,
save the events industry and allow us to host events under the restrictions that, instead of saying no events, allow us to host events with limitations and guidance that we can guide the people to do it safely and proactively.
but no, even if
Um,
you would do conferences, conferences can be done virtually. You know, weddings cannot be done virtually. So people are waiting the industry to collapse. This is unbelievable.
yeah,
Uh,
I just, there's not one person that has taken it, I don't think, to a worldwide organization because there isn't a worldwide organization that exists. I
then,
mean, what,
then you see,
I don't
we
think,
have to create an organization worldwide. This is what
but
we are
brides and
doing.
grooms want to get married, right? They want to get married. This is the problem. They want to get married. How do we help them do this with the guidance and the suggestions of the worldwide, you know what I mean? And how do we do it? How do we get our voices out there to address it and not just say, yeah, you know, don't worry about it. They're on pause. They're holding. Brides and grooms don't want to wait. That's the problem. They
Yes,
don't want to wait. They don't want to wait.
yeah,
They're beyond frustrated. And what are we going to do? Yeah, Bob, maybe with masks, you know, maybe distancing, maybe
you know,
there's got to be a rule book that has to be created on how can we service this industry in a safe way? What are the rules and restrictions with the CDC guidelines? Maybe meeting with the CDC or talking to the CDC.
yeah.
Marry now, party later. Yeah, there you go. I mean, but you
Everybody
know
does.
what? Even if we're marrying now and partying later, they're doing that. You know that, right? They're doing these small weddings and they're partying later on, which is fine. But they just have to get the word out there that it's good enough to do. I mean, we have to also do it in a safe environment because we don't want to kill people in the
Yes,
process.
of course.
You know, we have to safely make these decisions, but this industry has probably been the most impacted worldwide, and no one's addressing it because they're addressing, okay, you can go to a gym, you know, you can get your hair done. I'm like, okay, what about us? What
Yeah,
about us?
nobody talks about us. You are right. You know, we
No,
should schedule a meeting for that. You know, really, we should schedule a meeting for that. You know,
we
uh,
should.
because
I mean, what has DWP done? You know, like what has DWP? They've been silent. I mean, can DWP, you know what I mean? They're a global
yeah, where are
platform.
they now? They were doing conferences. Where are they now?
That's what I mean. But they're not addressing, yeah, they're connecting people, but are we addressing it?
Yeah.
And Bob's right. We need money. I mean, I have never gotten unemployment. I mean, I'm still waiting for money to come in from my government. I keep getting, oh, you know, you're pending. I've been pending for 3 months. Pending. There's zero. We have this industry, most of us have zero income.
Yes,
Zero. We went from making money to nothing.
you
And
are.
you can't live on nothing. You can't live on nothing.
You are right.
You know,
So,
and there's got to be something. I mean, maybe we should set up a Zoom call and get people together, get some of the leaders in the industry together. And Bob's asking right now, are they moving ahead with Greece DWP? I don't even know. Someone says they may, but then the U.S., we wouldn't be able to go anyway because we can't travel
yes,
there.
yes.
So I don't even know if they're proceeding.
Yeah, we can.
I mean, I don't even know if Engage, Bob, you'll know this, if Engage is proceeding with Florida. You know, they canceled June. It's just really, if we don't do something or get money or something, there's too many people that are not going to survive this. They're not going to survive it. How can you allow 30 years of your business to just go down the tubes because it wasn't addressed? Or how can you allow your career to just fall by the wayside? There's got to be something we can do to recharge, restart, do something. Like Bob says, you know, marry now, party later, something to keep it going. But for now, there's no income. Most of us don't have any income. I mean, I pivoted, so I'm very lucky that I did what I did. If people don't know what I did, I actually had a daughter who was on the front lines, and I learned very quickly that she didn't have any PPE. So I had a grassroots effort go together, and to date, we've produced over 50,000 masks and distributed to all the hospitals and clinics. So, and now we're making masks for events. We're actually producing them now. So there's a little bit of an income, that's helping. But so I wasn't a mask maker. I didn't know how, I know how to sew, but I wouldn't. So we're just, so I've been kept busy doing things that was very philanthropic. So it got my mind off of it. You know what I mean? Like it just took your mind off of the fact that you had no income. So you're like, I mean, my client, I didn't lose any clients. The clients are, and none of us have lost clients. Just keep that into perspective. None of us have lost our clients. We're just trying to move it. But in the short term, or in the foreseeable future, there's just no money coming in, right? There's no net income unless you're getting deposits on new jobs, and new clients are afraid to book because they don't know what next year is going to hold. So you're in this catch-22 scenario that's going on, I believe, worldwide. I mean, I'm seeing it here in New York. I don't know what they're seeing, what you guys are seeing in Turkey and beyond.
In Turkey, weddings are allowed, but with masks, with no dancing floor, and no photography, so no dancing. So nobody wants to make weddings. So it's nonsense. So everybody just pop sets. They just married, but they did they are trying to make the celebration for next year. I hope we will be able to, but now we see that it's been so long that I've been thinking, why aren't we coming together, and why aren't we building? There is ILEA, International Live Events Association, like MICE, MPI, and sites. We can do a special wedding association, worldwide association, just to solve this kind of problems, because this is the first time that we are facing the same problem with all of the countries, within all of the countries.
Within the world. Yeah, it's a worldwide issue. I mean, it's definitely a worldwide issue, but we just don't have a platform that we are using to really try to fix the problem. Now, we can't fix it. I mean, there's nothing we could do except for lack of a controlled vaccine. There's nothing we can do about it, truly. I mean, and then how do you really safeguard a wedding? And
so
Bob's with us. Bob's in. But I think we really have to kind of get it on the forefront of political activists all around the world to say, hey, listen, can you help us get this message out that, marry now, party later, something to keep it flowing so people don't think that love is gone completely. Because I think that's what they're fearing. They're fearing that everything has stopped. Couples, right? And that's kind of what they're fearing. And that's not the truth. The truth is everything can still continue. It's just that it's continuing in a different light of what it's going to look like. And she's saying, do it officially. Yeah, we do. We do need to do it officially. We do need to do it universally. I mean, we do need to do it worldwide. It has to be a worldwide organization. It can't be one country versus another. I mean, if our country can't get their crap together, at least the rest of us can get our stuff together, individually. Meaning, U.S. is a bad example of leadership. But I think if we put our minds together, a bunch of us, I think we can make a difference. Voices joined in a unison is pretty powerful. Remember that. We're pretty powerful when we have all the voices singing the same song. And if we're all singing the same song, we can make a difference. It's just that we have to operate together. So that's what we have to do.
Into action, as soon as possible.
Yeah. Right. It's a global problem. It is. It's a global problem. And we're the one industry, though, that no one has taken into consideration. Not one government has talked about it. Not one.
You're right.
And we're a $1 billion industry. It's not even a small industry. This is a huge industry. I mean, it's way bigger than
industries. It's a very big industry.
It is, but no.
USA.
Yeah. Oh, U.S. is massive. Yeah, USA is massive. But we're not being addressed, and maybe our voices aren't loud enough. Maybe our voices aren't loud enough. Maybe that's what it is. But I think if we get our voices together, I think we would be in a better shape.
We should. That's a good idea. Let me just translate in few words, then we will go on talking. Evet, düğün endüstrisi için dünyada konuşan hiç kimse yok diyor JoAnn Gregoli. Bunun için ben resmen diyor, yani Birleşmiş Milletler'e gitmek istiyorum ve bu durumu anlatmak istiyorum. Çünkü sadece düğün endüstrisi değil, düğün endüstrisinin çözüm ortakları da büyük bir çöküş içindeler. Çünkü bunun ne olacağı belli değil. Hiçbir income'ımız yok. Yani konferanslar başladı, biliyorsunuz oteller başladı, restoranlar başladı ama biz hala başlayamadık. Başlayamıyoruz. Düğünler izni olsa bile kimse maskesiyle dans pistinde dans etmeden, fotoğraf çektirmeden düğün yapmak istemiyor. İşin açıkçası böyle. Sorry, just few words in Turkish, so that will go on. So let's talk about the future. So let's say everything will be over. And,
no, it will.
do you think the trends will change? What's gonna happen? You know, what is in your crystal ball?
You know, I said to somebody the other day, my crystal ball is broken. My crystal ball is broken. I can't find my crystal ball anymore. My crystal ball just kind of fuzzy. I think what's going to happen is I think we're going to come back, I think, but it may be a little bit smaller. I don't think it's going to be as big. I think people are going to be really nervous throwing huge weddings because I think there's still going to be that fear factor is going to be in their heads a little bit. So I think for the foreseeable future, I think it's going to be weddings will take place, but I think they're just going to be smaller in scope, you know, versus maybe 200 people. It may go to 100 people. I think it's just going to be a smaller. I think for now, they're not going to travel as much. Bob is even saying smaller, closer to home. I agree with that. I think they're going to be too nervous to even travel again because they have to know what the safety precautions are, right? Even when I go out, I'm watching all the safety precautions. So I think there's going to be safety elements in place. I think it's going to be a slow start, kind of like when 9/11 hit. 9/11, you know, put the brakes on a lot of things, right? People were afraid to travel. People were just afraid. I think you're still going to have a fear factor in place worldwide. I just do. I don't, it's going to be very hard to overcome the statistics that they're seeing. So I think it's still going to happen, but I just think it's just on a smaller scale.
So what about destination weddings? I mean, when they will start?
Well, you and the EU is easier because you can travel country to country, right? You're easier. In the US, that's the problem. I think we're the problem. I don't think we're going to be able to travel for a bit. I don't even think Mexico is open to us yet. I don't know. Every day it changes on a day-to-day basis. But I think my whole future was destination weddings. My whole base was destination weddings. Every wedding that was destination has moved to the U.S. So nobody wants to get on an airplane, even across state to state. I'm not here in the U.S. Even people traveling out of their general areas, they want to know where can they go that's drivable. Where can they go that's drivable?
Same for Turkey. No, I have been in Bodrum. It's a very beautiful part of Turkey last week, and we traveled there by car. Before this year, we were flying there, so it took about 6 or 7 hours to drive, and we drive there.
That's what we're seeing. We're seeing people are just asking us, where can we go where it's drivable? So we're kind of even seeing, so it's going to be very regional. So, you know, the East Coast is going to stay East Coast, West Coast is going to stay West Coast, Midwest will stay Midwest. I don't think people are going to cross all the borders. And here in the U.S., because we're seeing such huge numbers increasing in the Midwest and California, the East Coast is staying isolating to themselves because they don't want to go back to where we were, right? We were there. We were in that zone for 3 months of fear and, you know, quarantine. We don't want to go back to where they are now. So even in the U.S., I think it's going to be drivable. You know, it's really, it's difficult, but, you know, I just think that's what it's going to be for a little bit.
Yeah, I see. It's the same for Turkey, but you know, here, last week I was in Bodrum. What I observed is people want to live as they used to live. You know, the restaurants were open and many restaurants were crowded. You know, we didn't just, you know, leave the hotel. The hotel was Aman Resort. So it was few people, few
Right.
rooms, 35 rooms, only 7 rooms were
Wow. We're
so it was,
booked.
it was, good for us. It was like, I was calling it, it's a pandemic hotel,
Right,
because
right.
nobody around, but the people, they want to live as they used to live. It's so hard to change their expectations. Mm,
Well, life is too short.
yeah,
Life is too short, and people want to live. That's why I say to my brides, first of all, continue getting married. The man that you love or the person that you love is standing right before you. Okay, that has not changed.
yes,
That person is going to be there. Marry that person. Why should you put your life on hold?
yes,
That's what the problem is. Me as a traveler, I would get on an airplane. I'd have my mask and the whole bit, but I don't want to put my life on hold either. But
yeah,
yes, we need a vaccine. The solution, and I'm seeing the comments, 100%. The solution is a vaccine, 100%. We need it. We need it now, and that's what's in the scope of life. Though you must put it into perspective. This is a short period of time.
yes.
You have to look at it that way. This is not forever. It's not. There is hope. Tomorrow is going to be another day. And you've got to live with that hope of the future that this is temporal. Whatever lesson this is supposed to teach us, I don't know what lesson we're all supposed to learn in this mess. Maybe it is this whole thing. If you look at life as like one big lesson, because that's what it is, what are we learning? Maybe to appreciate the family, appreciate the people
Yeah.
we're with, appreciate and slow down. Slow down. Maybe we were living on this hamster wheel that was driving us crazy. And maybe this time we're supposed to take this time to really appreciate what life is really all about. We were all searching and grasping, and everybody was like relentless. And the minute you had a quarantine, life became way more important. And the people that you didn't see became way more important. Maybe that's the lesson in this whole thing. But you must realize, I say to my brides all the time, this is temporary. This is not permanent. This is not permanent. It's a disruption, yes. It's a pain in the ass, 100%. 100%. I'm not going to diminish that, but it's also not forever. It's not forever. And that's what you have to understand.
I hope so. I hope so. Because, I spend my lifetime for this business and I don't want to lose it. This is my 26th year in the business, and, I cannot live without my business. I cannot
No,
live
I can't
without,
either.
yeah.
I can't either. I
I,
mean, I can't live without my business and my children. And I think not seeing my children is, what I appreciated the most, is that I really, really adore them, and I always did adore them. But having this timeline not to see them was probably the most frustrating thing. But I think there is something to be learned here, and you must take every situation anyway and turn it into something positive. I did do that, obviously. I did my grassroots effort, and I said to some people, I've never been more satisfied in my life by what we were doing with these masks and giving them to people that had nothing. It was beyond rewarding, way more rewarding than my career, way more rewarding,
yes,
because I was making a difference in their lives and I
yes.
was changing their lives. So maybe that's what it's about. It's about just being humble and just realize that life is way more important than what it perceives to be. And just, as you know what it was, I had to get out of my own head. I had to get out of my own head. In the beginning, I was devastated. I was beyond crushed. I'm like, this is it. It's over. But I can't tell my children I can't feed you. I can't tell my children that this is it. I had to pivot. And where this has taken me, this thing that I've been doing, is beyond my wildest dreams. But let me tell you, it is wonderful. It is
Yeah,
wonderful to make an impact in people's lives in a great way. So
yeah,
maybe people, if they're stuck, do something. If you are bored because we can't do this, find something, find a mission, attach yourself to that mission, and make a difference while you can. Our legacy is all we have in life. It's all we've got. We have
yes,
nothing else.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
So
used to touch people's life, so we should go on touching people's life. But it doesn't.
absolutely. Yeah, find another way to touch it. Absolutely. 100%. You know, if you can cook something. If you can donate something. If you can sow something. Make a difference, and that'll make you feel a lot better about yourself. And then when this does come back, you'll be a better person for it. You will. We all will be a better person.
Yeah.
I never thought in a million years that it would be this impactful to me, but it has changed my life. It's changed my life. It's changed my perspective on life. My clients are important, yes, but the battered women shelters that I attached myself to was way more important. Like to see what these battered women shelters that I had learned existed, which I knew existed, these women were being quarantined with the batters that were abusing them morning, noon, and night, and they had no out. They had nowhere to go. And we were providing, once these women were able to leave these batterers, I was providing all these little kits for the children and masks for the children and for the women. That was beyond rewarding, because when I delivered these things, these women were in tears. So, you know what? We don't have it so bad. There's many people that are way worse than we are. And, okay,
You're
we're
right.
inconvenienced. We are inconvenienced for a moment. And you have to look at it as an inconvenience. That's really what it is. If you're not homeless, you're inconvenienced, right? You're inconvenienced. If you're not eating right now, you're inconvenienced then. We're only inconvenienced. So if you change your perception, you will get through this. We will. We will. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to survive it. It's just we're taking some hits. We're taking some hits. But you know what? The little bit that you have, donate it. I'm always at the food bank. I'm buying food and I'm buying extra food. And I'm delivering it to the food banks. Because there are people that have nothing. I have something. There are people that have nothing. So it's really just take it off yourself and go push it outward and do something good. And good will come back. If you do good, good will come back.
Yeah,
Good
that's
will
right.
come back.
Good will come back. That's right.
Oh,
That's
always. The good always wins. Always wins out.
Yeah, so it's a life lesson, JoAnn. It's a life lesson. And we are
100%.
all learning, having our lessons from this period of time. But you know, there are very sad stories, there are very tragic stories. But you know, it was the time for me, for instance, to look over what I'm doing. What was I doing? Why I was so fast running? You know, I was asking these questions to me during this period. Uh, and you know, trying to do good things, as you said, so that the good things will come back to you one day. I hope we'll do something for our industry as well. We have to come together as soon as possible. I will try to arrange this. I will
Okay.
also connect you, because you know, you have been also following me. I've been doing a lot of live events from all around the world with our friends. And you know, everybody is in the same situation, so I think we'll find a way. We should be in touch
We
more
will.
often. We should be in
For
touch more.
sure. For sure.
So, some few questions about luxury.
Hmm?
Do you think the meaning of luxury will change? You know, it's absurd to talk about luxury, maybe in this period of time, but we are doing a luxury business, and now people are aware of many things that they were not aware of. So, what do you think? Will the
Well,
luxury?
I think I think luxury will never go away. I mean, luxury is always going to be here, but I also think it's how you push it out, meaning you don't want to be ostentatious when so many people are out of work. All right. So I think it's how you push out luxury. I think luxury has to be a little more humanized. You have to take into account that if you're hosting an event and there's so many people that lost their jobs, you don't want to be that person to throw a party that's so lavish that it's insane, right? So you need to put things under control and make it a little more understandable I think it's more understated luxury versus over the top luxury, in my personal opinion. That's
Yeah,
what I think.
no.
Yeah.
So, there is a common saying, everything will change and nothing will be the same again.
The same. That's true. That's true. That's true.
So what will change, do you think? What will change?
I think what's going to change, I think, is people are going to appreciate life a lot more, and people are going to appreciate their family and friends a lot more. That's going to change. I think people are just going to be in a different place, and people are going to appreciate life more than they ever have before. That's going to change, 100%.
Yes, I will translate this in few minutes. Türkçe hemen anlatayım. Öncelikle güzel şeyler yapmayı öneriyor JoAnn. Yardımlaşmayı, yardım etmeyi. Çünkü bizler işsiz kaldık bu dönemde. Bu dönemi, çünkü hepimizin en sevdiği şey insanların hayatına dokunmaktı. Hayatına dokunmaya devam etmek istiyorsan insanların, o zaman gerçekten yardıma ihtiyacı olan kişilere yardım elini uzatmalısın. Ben bunu yaptım diyor. Çok güzel bir örnek. Peki luxury, yani lüks değişecek mi dedim. Lüks elbette ki kalacak ama belki bazı içerikte değişiklikler olacak. Peki hiçbir şey eskisi gibi olmayacak diye bir söylem var. Buna ne diyorsun? Elbette hiçbir şey eskisi gibi olmayacak diyor. Çünkü öncelikle ailelerimizi, etrafımızda yaşananlara daha farkındalığımız arttı. Dolayısıyla bu her şeyin eskisi gibi olmasını beklemememiz gerektiğini de söylüyor. Fakat bu görüşmeden çıkan şey, bu canlı yayından çıkan sonuç aslında tüm dünyadaki wedding plannerların bir araya gelip gerçekten seslerini duyurmaları gerekiyor. Çünkü endüstrimiz bayağı dünyanın en büyük endüstrilerinden biri olmasına rağmen sanki böyle bir endüstri yokmuş gibi davranılmasından bahsediyor ki çok doğru. Çünkü bizim işimiz hep lay lay lom iş gibi görülür. Maalesef insanlar ağızlarına almazlar. Oysa ki dünyanın en büyük, en yüksek bütçeli endüstrilerinden biridir. Dolayısıyla da bu görüşmede hepimiz bir araya gelme kararı aldık. Bence çok harika oldu bu. I hope we'll do. You know, we were about to make a wedding in Turkey.
I know, and that has been that was put on hold. Obviously, I think they may do it next year, so we're waiting to see. So
I hope so. I'm looking forward for that. I will just ask you a final question about the destination weddings, because I don't think the destination weddings will come for sure, but we don't know when they will come back. Actually, you know, I still have 2 destination weddings on September, and one is from Canada.
wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Canada's in better shape than we are, so
there are some wedding planners working for my agency as well, and she was in contact with one of my wedding planners, and she was saying, you know, they want to make a wedding, and they are from Canada, and I was saying, are you sure? Will they? And you know, today we had a flower demonstration.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I hope they will do it, because there is a permission of doing weddings in Turkey, but there are some restrictions. So let's see if they will do it or not. I'm looking forward to create beautiful weddings with you, JoAnn.
Yes, for sure.
I will arrange. You know, as soon as possible, a Zoom meeting with all our friends. At least we'll see each other, we'll talk, we miss each other, and we will try to create a solution, a worldwide solution for our industry. We should do that. This should be our mission, maybe, you know?
You're right, for sure.
So do you want to add anything? Very last final minute?
You know, just believe in yourself, and just believe that this will pass. You know, I always say this too shall pass. This too shall pass. This is not forever. And if you can live with that, you'll be able to move forward once you realize that this is not forever.
Yeah, I'm sure. Few words in Turkish. Neredeyse JoAnn'le bir düğün yapmak üzereydik Amerika'dan. Ama gelecek sene olacak inşallah diyor. Benim Kanada'dan olacak bir düğünüm var önümüzdeki Eylül ayında. Dolayısıyla bakalım neler olacak ama kendinize inanmaya devam edin diyor. Thank you so much, JoAnn. It was a great pleasure talking to you.
You too.
We will be in touch. I will try to organize this Zoom meeting with all friends. At least we'll see each other, and we will try to find a solution, I hope. This was a very inspiring talk for me, JoAnn. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great to see you, sweetie. Take care.
You too. Bye bye, dear. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.